Napoleon's invasion of Russia on the 24th of June 1812 saw a staggering 860,000 strong force strike towards Moscow, consisting of French troops and their numerous allies. Early success is soon whittled away by lack of supplies for the French force, the Russians depriving the land of resources as it retired deeper into Russia. The French must gain a decisive victory over the Russian army. This, coupled with capturing Moscow, may force the Tsar to sue for peace.
Hello everyone, it's Chad here, and we are back with another 33rd historical line battle. Here on the wonderful world of Napoleonic Wars in Mount and Blade. And as you can see, this wonderful fort has got some people pouring out of it right now. And so you can see the French are versus the Russians. And it looks like they're making their way out now. Yep, here we come. Here they are. The Russians are coming out to play.
Stage 1. Smolensk suburbs. Having had no opportunity thus far to cut the Russian retreat short early in the campaign, Napoleon devises a maneuver around Smolensk in an attempt to sweep behind the Russians and inflict a decisive defeat. Bagration's corps fortunately occupies Smolensk a few days prior and is able to stall the French advance into the suburbs of the city.
So, as you can see, they've got some standard foot, and of course they've got some fine horsemen, complete with Trooper Isaac and his horn, and Sir Legion at the back, Corporal of Horse, no doubt, of the 33rd, and you can see them basically charging headfirst into bushes, because that's what you do. And it's a capture the flag event, so you can see now this is going to cause cursors to appear on the screen, which is very annoying for the spectator. But we'll see. So there's a cursor. Very annoying. So now you can see my invisible cursor when I'm flying around. It only seems to happen in the wonderful world of Capture the Flag. And here are some French. Lieutenant Colonel Sinton Kiko and his friends from the 65Y. You can see them moving up to the Great Wall here. The wooden fort, the palisade, the first entrance, I suppose you could say, trying to take the point. And you can see they've already taken down damaged areas. And they're now repelling borders of the lights of the 33rd. There's Bastos and Lance Corporal Regulation and Hopeless Knight. Oh goodness me, look at this, and the cavalry come charging in to do some damage as well. As you can see, there's Duffman. Duffman and his teammates seem to be minus horses now. Poor Trooper Isaac, trying to dodge left and right, and you can see them moving up a little bit closer to assist the line troops. Well, not him obviously, but oh goodness me, it's an ambush by two of the Russians. Out come, it's King George, look at this! Ensign King George going out for a mass stab and a grab. And he's doing well so far, I have to say. Look at this. Wow. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Something's happening. Oh, hello. Lance Corporal Richard charges in with a sudden ambush. And yet more come flying down. There's Sergeant Major Chef anyway. So you can see there that they managed to hold this flag. The Russians. It's the wrong way around for the French, isn't it? So, as you can see, the fort is well defended by the likes of Adamo 138 and Henry Bourgogne. And Recruit Irishman. Always a pleasure to see new recruits in Napoleonic Wars. Now, moving out over here. There he is, Lieutenant Colonel Kincaid. That fine moustache and nozzle. And Lance Corporal Richard following on now. Who's the tail end Charlie? Well, Adam was the tail end Charlie, but now it's Private Slice. So, making their way through this township, I suppose you could say, towards the French flag. Oh, look, the French have surrendered already. But now they're going to run into the 92nd as the Russians come out of the... have they seen each other? Well, the Russians have definitely seen them. And we've just lost Mr. Factiful. And Tavish has died as well. And so they've done a good job here, the Russians, of sneaking in behind the French. And we'll have to wait and see how it turns out with Sergeant Teamkill here from the 73rd. Working together with Dorky Konza, also of the 73rd. Going in for a little bit of stabby goodness. Who's this going backwards? It's Garden Gnome. Garden Gnome of the KHJ, the Corporal of the RRA as well. Now, in best French tradition, he is buggering off. But, you know, it's got to be done. Now, you can see here that they managed to repel borders quite well. As far as these guys are concerned, you can see the French flag is still flying high. So these guys did a good job with the ambush that came out of the Russian bushes. Well, I doubt they're Russian bushes. They are, wherever we are, they're bushes. They just happen to contain lots of Russians at that particular time. So, we shall go into the bushes and find out what's up. Now, there is Colonel Ryan, 65Y, making his way. Oh, hello, another ambush by the Russians. And they've basically been shot at and decided to flee as best they can. Easy E from the 33rd. And Major Alec, Sergeant Major Alec, and you can see what they've done is they've basically decided to go for the flag to try and get the capture points. And you can see right now the Russians are doing a good job with the actual capture points. You can see 145 points and 76, and there we go. The French have now lost that flag again. Their number is going to go down. The tickets are going to go down. That's going to be a problem for them. These Russians are going to have to spread out and see what happens. My phone doing weird things. Listening in on what I'm saying. Sergeant Major Alec making his way around. Let's see. And Sergeant Major Cedric. And they're doing a bit of a... Are they really just going round and round and round here? I hope not. Well, there's no Frenchmen round this side. And you can see now the Russians are holding this flag. And I think it's fair to say they have the advantage. Now here's William Turner of the 92nd. Repelling borders while they try and defend the flag. There we go. Joseph Cromwell from the 92nd also in there. John F. Kennedy, recruit of the 92nd. Working together with Gordon Magnus. Now you can see coming across the fields are more Russians. Recruit Sheep. Surrendering because he knows he can't get in there. Yep, there we go. That's what happens if you surrender. Doesn't matter, he's still going to get shot at. Now, supporting Sheep is Fusilier Bastos. And Sheep has decided to run for it in the opposite direction, maybe getting some healing. A little bit of medicing, we'll have to wait and see as Rupert Wallace, Grenadier of the 92nd, moves out for a bit of melee combat with the Russians. Private Wallalow. Marksman Supak, who called a bullet. Sharpshooter dude. Oh, fine stab by Sharpshooter. And now they go in to try and reclaim the flag from the French. Look at this, Rupert Wallace. Oh, fine shot by Rupert there. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A good win by the Russians. Well, hello everyone. We're back again. And it is the next stage.
Stage 2, Smolensk, rearguard. Bagration's corps fights successful stalling actions around Smolensk, allowing the remainder of the Russian army to retreat further north. The fierce cannonade from the French, however, has caused the city to begin to burn. Bagration orders his troops to fight a tenacious rearguard actions to prevent the French from recovering any supplies before the city inevitably burns to the ground.
So, you can see them all getting set up. And you can see Kincaid here getting everybody sorted. There's King George. Getting everybody ready to go. There, of course, is Yid from the RRA. Oh, look at all these boys. All getting set up. Don't they look handsome? Who's that? Oh, pardon me. Sorry. It's Lieutenant Colonel Senton Kiko. Dortic Honza having a little bit of a pre-battle teabag. Oh dear. It's a tad unfortunate. But anyway, you can see them breaking out all into all their various regiments. They get themselves ready to go, except for Gay Ben. Oh, graphical blur. There, from the KK, there's RAEVSKY. And there's Recruit Zoran. Checking the line. Okay. A double line for France, look at this. As they're getting set up for a potential defense. And they're going to be walking forward. No, press shift, not spacebar. So, France moving out as a double line at the walk. As you can see, King George. It's almost a line. Oh dear, they've left somebody behind. Who is it? Oh, it's the 92nd. Under the command of John Gordon. Press F for 3 diamonds. So now you can see them. Russia. Waiting. France. Holding at the top of the hill. Somebody just fired. Oh, there we go. And the only one to get killed was King George. Officer aiming. Officer aiming. Poor King George. Dear oh dear. Look at this, the French. They're going to hold fire now as they get set up. France are holding on to their shots. Oh dear. The Lieutenant Colonel of 65Y just snuffed it. Now they're going to move forward under the hail of bullets coming from the Russians. As poor Mandan 33 has fallen. And more of the 65Y are casualties of battle. Ah, fine drumming. Trooper Isaac with fine drumming. So the Russians now cease fire. And Russia are preparing to advance. We'll have to wait and see how that goes, shan't we? There you go, so you can see them now starting to move up. I do apologise that the volumes... Oh, goodness me. Oh, look at that, the numbers. The volume seems to keep changing on the microphone. It's very annoying. I'm not sure what's doing it. If it's like compression on here or something. See what I mean? It's very, very annoying for me. But anyway, let's see. Now you can see, present when ready. The Russians. Oh, wow, look at that. Fantastic. And the Russians charge. The remaining French, look at this. With the French advancing to meet them for the inevitable mass melee. And it looks like Colonel Spoons got revived. Probably died seconds later, but never mind. Poor Spoons. Look at these two guys locked in mortal combat. Oh, he looks like he's got a menage a trois now. Oh, team kill with a fine defense. Killed one of his opponents. Look at this, fine melee work from both these lads. Oh no, team kill could only hold off for so long. Fine playing there by team kill. Fantastic stuff. And look at this, Stuff Man. Trying to organise the lads together, get them sorted out. What's going on over here? Something is afoot. Oh dear. Well, death mostly. Well, here's some more Frenchmen. Chosen man William was chosen for death, sadly. And there we go, Recruit Dedoc. Oh dear, the recruit Dedoc's just killed his colonel. Oh dear, poor Spoons. Never mind. Such is the luck of an officer in Napoleonic Wars. We move on. Well, as we relax by this nice river, complete with fallen trees and bushes and large rocks, we see somebody is up to no good on the next stage.
Stage 3. Borodino, RAEVSKY Redoubt. After constant retreat, Kutuzov is reappointed as commander of the Russian army and prepares for one defensive action close to Moscow. A series of redoubts are hastily constructed to anchor the Russian line, the most imposing of these situated at RAEVSKY's position on the Russian right flank, dominating the heights above Borodino. This position must be held, or the entire Russian line of defense will become untenable.
So you can see now the guys charging in. The question is, what are they charging at? Well, it's this. It's a Russian fort, complete with cannons, commanded by Fusilier Shadow. Defences all over the place. Men in top hats. Those would be the surgeons. There's Breath Drawn. Who's the other surgeon? It's Bastos. Look at those fine pork chops. The old mutton chops, I should say, sorry. Major Cedric with a pistol. The most effective pistol in the history of the universe. As the French continue to push in. And they've got to try and break down these defences that are stopping them get through. But there are Russians out the front of the fort that are looking to try and repel borders. Oh dear, that looks particularly painful. Hopeless Knight, quite literally living up to his name, managed to impale himself on a large pole, which obviously could be a lifestyle choice. It's difficult to say. There we go, problem solved. Oh dear. Now, what's going on over here? Got a couple of Frenchmen who... it's Garden Gnome. Oh, they're coming from behind. Look at this. Yid and Garden Gnome from the RRA. They're attacking the artillery. Fantastic stuff by these guys. Great ambush, sadly for Yid. He is no more. And the Garden Gnome is finished off. So that was an interesting, very sneaky little ambush there. Onto the artillery section. Well, precisely. So you can see here the defensive positions, complete with campfire. You've got to keep yourself warm in between the battles, and you can see maybe a little bit of snow on the ground. I'd say that's mostly rocks, really, so difficult to say. But it's probably pretty chilly out here. But then, you know, the smell of cordite and gunpowder and cannonballs and death probably doesn't make it any more enjoyable. Kicker, oh my goodness. Dead, actually. Lieutenant Colonel snuffed it. It's no more. Here's PFC James from 65Y, making his way in for a little bit of mass murdering. And as you can see, the 65Y being finished off with cannonballs. The RRA also. There he is, the Spoons himself. All hail the Spoons. How is he still alive? Mysteries of the universe will never solve. Oh, look at this. Spoons going melee ham. Look at that fine stab in the back there from Spoons. And it was, that was Colonel Sainer. That was hot Colonel on Colonel action right there, boys and girls. Caught on camera. Fantastic. Now, what's going on over here? This little bunker. Here we've got members of the 73rd. There's Tavish. And right near the Spikes is Team Kill. Oh dear. Looks like the KK are moving up. They have lost a few people, but they're determined to push in against the likes of Veteran Umber. Now, let's see. See the way the voice... I swear the microphone keeps changing its volume somehow. And it's really annoying me. But anyway. Hopefully it's not too distracting as Wallalow continues to defend. There's Umbra. And here's Aldrich, Lance Corporal. Oh, he's got to be careful. He's being attacked from two sides, and he got diddled. This is going to be a dangerous situation for the French. Russians are crowding onto them. And BAGRATION is finished off by a nice shot coming in from the French on the other side. You can see they're trying to break down as many of these defensive spikes as possible. The likes of Connor AW from the 65Y. They want to try and defeat these cannons if they possibly can. As you can see, I think it's fair to say he's been well and truly defeated. And the cannons, it looks like the cannons have been silenced, at least for the time being. Oh, correction, I did hear a cannon report here. Fusilier Shadow. Looking for an opportunity for a nice kill as they come down the road. Let's see. There they are. Straight down the middle, and that's exactly the shot he was looking for. Into the RRA. As they make their way across the bridge. Look at that. Oh, God, look at that. Oh, that's painful. And they've taken out the... Oh, my God, that's even more painful. Oh, God, look at that. And look at that. Dear, oh, dear. Never mind. But you can see them picking up additional cartridges and... Okay. I think it's fair to say he's lagged out or crashed. Some kind of new tactic. Difficult to say, really. But do we go over the hill to the fort? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. We just lost recruit. Muzaffar. Team killed by a fellow from the 33rd. And you can see the French continuing to push in. Pretty hardcore. The Russians, Invitational Costas from the 33rd, murdered. But over here, the defences still hold. Fusilier Romaro. Look at this fine medicing being done here. There is Trooper Breathridon. Fantastic medicing work being done by him. Fine soldiery as well. And not only does he heal his own boys, but he murders his opponents as well. Equal opportunity doctor. So you can still see there are more defensive positions that the Russians can pour in from. And they've got to get it now. The thing is, you can see that flag about halfway. So the French really got to come in a serious number. At the moment it's kind of dribs and drabs. But they've got to be very careful, and somebody needs to silence this gun, and it looks like it has been silenced. Yeah, he looks very silenced indeed. So that's the opportunity now. If the French can band together and get their forces through, then we could be looking at a better situation for them. Oh, that's going to be painful. Oh dear. Poor Augie. So, we watch as the French continue to push into the fort. Over here, Romaro still alive, trying to take out the enemy. Oh, fine cannonball coming in from Darkling. Where was this cannonball? Over the far side, maybe? It's here. Look at this. Opportunistic cannons. Look at this, Magnus coming in. He's going to go after the cannoneer. The cannoneer comes for him. And it's a 2-on-1 situation, and he kills the cannoneer. And then dies horribly. But there is a spare. Oh goodness. Always carry a spare cannoneer. Never know if you're going to need one. Away goes the cannonballs. Onto the bridge. But sadly, a lot of them have made it across already. And look at that line. Oh wow, that's a... They're probably thinking, why wasn't a cannon available here? Because that would have been a nice cannon shot. Right down the centre. Probably couldn't turn that far. That one would have been good. But anyway, look at this. This could be the end for the Russian defensive fort. There's Palladini. Golden Fizz. Now, oh, he's not golden anymore. Rather dulled with blood. And you can see them starting to push in numbers, and that flag is going to drop fast. if they get more French on there than they have Russians. So there we go. Down goes the flag. This is the push the French were looking to do. And there you have it. They captured the fort. Well, here we are. On the next stage.
Stage 4. Borodino, Bagration Fletches. As the struggle for the RAEVSKY redoubt rages to the Russian right, Deval hits the centre in force, supported by Dezay, Ney and Murat. The Russian centre is marked by a sizable redoubts in the shape of arrowheads dispersed along the plain. After the initial attack by the French is met with some success, the Russians continue to reinforce the crucial position from their reserve.
And you can hear the fine fifing coming in here from the French. Veteran Lachlan McGale. Fine fifage, we heartily approve. There's Yid from the RRA moving out. There's Gnome. And there's Paul Q. Don't they all look wonderful? And here you can see the 6E, the LGN CSK. Fine fellows. Look at them, don't they look fine, along with the 73rd. And more of them in there, so there might be a random 73rder in there. Nope, there we go. The 6E 73rd. And we also have Lieutenant Colonel of the 65Y. And the 65Y have a wonderful turnout this evening. Many of those fellows around. Oh, really? Oh, that's just harsh. Look at that, musicians. No love for the musicians. Why is it always the musicians? Ugh. Well, Colonel Ryan's just been murdered as well. Musician aim, yes, I quite agree. MA should be punishable by murder, death, or whatever, kicked from the server. Or, you know, slapped over the internet, something like that. So, let's see. Now, these might be... There he is, Mr. Faptiful, the General of the 6E. Don't they look lovely? There's Matka. And there's Colonel Sienna, or Sina, and Tinkill. Now, what's going on over here? Aiden Unicorn for the 92nd. And he's following in line with the Colonel himself, Colonel John Gordon, William Turner, McTavish, Unicorn, Rupert Wallace, Jacob Gordon again, there's Felix, and there is Crejo at the back, recruit. So, oh heavens, what's going on here? There's a bit of defensive work going on. Not so great defensive work by the looks of it. It looks like they've already lost their medic. Not going to go well for them under the circumstances. Recruit Zoran is defending. And you can see them making the most of the obstacles available to them. They are supported up here by the 6th. And there's Mr. Faptiful looking through his spyglass for the opposing forces, which look to be up here by this hut. You can see them moving out past the random horse, which of course we have to say hello to, as we always do. Hello, random horse. So, look at these boys getting set up with a double line. The 33rd. There's Kincaid holding on to those lads. And there's Jalgard, sorry. Kaiserino, Lieutenant. Seems to be a new promotion, but good God, look at that face. Wow. That's a face of a leader right there. Looks like he's been smashed in the face with a shovel when he was younger. So, we've also got a bit of cavalry going on here. Invitational Costas of the 33rd has just crashed into the line. Random horse which appears to be driving away by himself. And we shall follow as we have a look and see what's going on here with the 56E. Bijar, Peter and Gunbol. And supporting their right flank you can see Odekeo, Sergeant Major Alec. Who's this fellow? Private Easy E. And Darkling. So you can see them pushing in on this defensive area here. These boys, oh my goodness. Oh goodness me, this is quite the... Oh goodness me, where are they taking the fire from? Oh, an ambush coming in from these boys. That was a fine Yashin Pasha there. Fantastic ambush. Look at the bodies. The bodies of the 65Y here as they were ambushed. There's Red Eye. Now even redder. Similar to a name of an old friend of mine and fellow caster of extreme professionalism and note. Otherwise, the Red Eye himself, Paul Challoner. Wonderful guy. Extremely talented, decent man. Haven't seen him in ages, but a pleasure to work with. Anyway, Skyrim CZ. Look at this. Going in for a little bit of melee, gets blocked. Oh, looks like his enemies have been overcome by sheer weight of numbers. We've lost Lieutenant Colonel Kincaid, shot in the bonds. There's Turkish Panda, look at this. Look of determination. It looks like they're going to do the next one. Will be this, another line battle on the same map. Oh dear, Rupert Wallace got frozen. Oh dear. So, look at all these Russians. Some slightly bloodier than others. Making a push across the fields. And there's two Frenchmen waiting for him. Oh, this is, you know this is going to go so well. So well. Fight or slay. Here we go. It's Recruit Zoran. I think it's fair to say he's going to be floating away. Oh, he's going to go for a... Oh, okay. Didn't even get a chance for a river fight. He got slain. Oh, dear. Well, fresh at the sight of a recent slaying here in the river, which basically means they've polluted a good drinking source. Or at least, if it's fresh water, I suppose it could be. Singular lack of fish in here, I have to say. But I suppose, you know, for a game this old, you wouldn't expect to have fish in here. God, imagine if you could... Imagine in Bannerlord, if you had Napoleonic Wars in Bannerlord, you could add in some piranhas. That would be kind of funny. Anyway, so they're doing the line battle again on this map. And here you can see Senton Kiko and his boys moving across. Colonel Ryan at the back. Got his boys, John Gordon as well. And there is Adolf Stottir with other members of the KKPK. Onto Nashi. Onto Nashi again. Onto Nashi again. He's very... Okay, stop hogging the camera. There is Stabs for a Killer. And there is Zoran at the back. Fantastic stuff. Oh dear. Gotta love the banter and silliness in the chat. So we look at Mr. Garden Gnome himself as we follow them in towards the battle as the boys are lining up. The 6E. Oh, look at that. Fine shots coming in. Darkling taking down Corporal Blitz. What's going on over here? Things are afoot. Well, perhaps not for him. Other things are afoot. Major Cedric and the lads. Oh no, they've lost their cannons. Some of the cannons have been broken. Some of the cannons are not in use. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out. Look at this. The boys getting over the top of the hill, making the use of the cover. Taking pot shots at the enemy. 65Y, there he is, Recruit the Bamboozler Fine beardage. Oh god, one of his teammates dies right next to him. And more people are taking hits, and it looks like they're going to move out. Oh, look at this! An ambush! A horsey ambush! Oh, heavens above! Oh dear. The bamboozler will follow him as he's moving over to his team. Oh, dear. He got bamboozled himself. And these boys trying to make a spiky output as much as possible. The 65Y. But now they've also come under attack from this Russian line. And now this is going to be a nasty situation for them. Will they be able to defend themselves with the onslaught of the Russians? There's you. Can he defend himself? Oh my goodness, look at all those Russians! Oh, no way you're going to block that many. Oh, he's about to get diddled. Yes, he got well and truly diddled. Who's the defender? Oh, that was Recruit Wolf from the 65Y. The last man to fall. Wow, that was brutal. Combined ambush of cavalry and line. And now you can see the Russians are trying to take a pot shot at some of the French across the field. There's team kill from the 73rd. And there's Taufk. And of course, Farn Tavish. So you can see these boys making their way out. Going for a nice river crossing by the looks of it. Oh dear. Poor Dead Ox. Team killed her, and probably as a result of maybe in revenge for the accidental killing of Spoons earlier. Poor Spoons. Anyway. So these guys have made it across. They're now in a stronger position, but we go down the bank here. And you've got some additional French forces making their way across. The 92nd, supported by more of the 92nd. But these guys are now, oh dear. Crying Noob has just killed Kincaid. And look at this, the 33rd. A nice little double line. Fantastic stuff. As supporting them on their far left flank, you have another line pushing down even further against the French. Yeah, look at that. Oh, wow. Private Sandwich Doom guy just missed a bullet there. As his teammate snuffed it behind him. Oh, he's turned the wrong way. And also supported by Sneaky Fellow and his line. There's the Crying Noob. And you can see these boys, they're doing what they have to do. And now you can see them pushing up even closer. Oh dear. Somebody just snuffed it on the riverside. And more members of the 6E. And there's the General. Mr. Faptiful. He could be Vapless very soon. Because now you've got addition Russian forces. And Spartan 306, chosen man of the 92nd, having a fight on the riverbank. And sadly perishing exactly there. Who's this hiding behind a tree? Oh, they're all coming for you, Adclass. Oh, Adclass, yes. So he's decided in the best interest of surviving to cheese it in the opposite direction, and he turns and fights. Look at this fine. Oh, he got stabbed. Major Cedric finished him off with his bayonet before you think of anything else. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of that round. And we are back with the next stage.
Stage 5. Borodino, UTITSA. Hoping to turn the Russian left flank, Polish troops under Poniatowski move against the village of UTITSA to the south. The surrounding terrain, however, is difficult. Surrounding brushland and woods are populated with large number of Russian light infantry. Poniatowski sends forward his own skirmishers to flush out the Russians swiftly. If the Polish cannot make progress in this sector, then their contribution to the battle raging in the north will be non-existent.
Okay, so here you can see the Russians getting set up, moving out into this wooded area. Fine trees, plenty of bushes for hiding. 33rd, there's Barrow moving out, and there, of course, the Colonel himself, the Spoons. Now, we're making our way through the forest. Let's see. Bit of a strange place to have a battle, I guess. But I suppose it's easy to hide your numbers and your location. Like this fella here, PFC Atomic, with his very sneaky location. Colonel Ryan of the 65Y, conferring with Senton Kiko, his second in command. Yeah, where's Napalm when you need it? There's Digvid. Who's this? It's Mr. Faptiful, the General. And here you can see Corpfield and Apollon CZ. Oh dear, look at this. They've claimed some victims already. Everyone seems to be hiding. Hiding behind, I was about to say, cover. But these guys aren't. Wow. Brave fellas, this lot. Jolgand. Now, what's this man up to? Dawn of War. Fusilier Cameron. So you can see here, it looks like casualties being claimed on both sides. Complete with, of course, the regular team kill. Run and gun, yeah, I think it's fair to say that's what this is. I thought that was a sniper there. Oh, hello. Colonel Signer. Oh dear. We've just lost Apollon. There you go. These guys hiding behind a tree. Ad class. And there is Corp. Matkar. Matk. So. Numbers are still pretty even. I mean, definitely the Russians are suffering the worst out of this confrontation right now. The French definitely have the advantage in numbers by nearly 2-1. Well, we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. As now you can see them getting up close and personal. There's Jarl going in. A little bit of melee fun in the bushes. Who doesn't enjoy that? Oh, fine stab, sir. Look at that. As he finally gets poked in the brain case and drops dead nearby. So now the French are moving through the field. Sorry, through the forest, I should say. Making their way out. And here we go. Last of those Russians in this area have been finished off. And whoever is on the other side of this forest is going to get the shock of his life when loads of Frenchmen hove into view. If they manage to find the enemy at all, that is. It's going to be a little bit of a bugger finding them. Aha! They found one. Yep, Troll Prezes is going to run for it, and I don't blame him one iota. There's six Russians left to 45 Frenchmen. This is going to go well, you just know it. Yep, there we go, shot in the back. Now, where are the rest of them? They've got to be here somewhere. And there you go, all charge, here we go. Here they come. Oh, going in for a little bit of rifle butt action. Peter with the butt action there in the middle of the forest. Oh, fine butt work. Oh, excellent butt work indeed by Peter. Now you can see them going in. Oh, look at that. This man is a expert with the butt. Good stuff indeed. Well, we're back on the same map, the Forest of Death. And you can see now the Russians moving out past this thatched roof building. There's the 33rd moving out in quite spread out formation because they're all pretty much lights. There's Romero. See all these guys with their water bottles and their backpacks containing obviously cartridges, bullets, maybe the odd bandage, gunpowder maybe, difficult to say. But anyway, let's wait and see, shall we? Because ahead of them will be the French. And there we see movement in the centre. This is where it's all going to kick off any second. There we go. It's all started. Lots of people taking cover, and Colonel Senya first to snuff it. And look, you can see a large number of the Russians moving down. Sorry, I was going to say Russians moving down, but it's actually the French. Very aggressive on the left flank here. Up against these boys. Complete with the surgeon that is Major Cedric. The doctor is well and truly in. And all these guys trying to hide behind one tree. Don't blame them one bit, to be honest. Oh dear, we've lost recruit Irishman. Now, we look over here. There's Aiden Unicorn. And they're just making the best they can of the available cover. Now, the trouble is, obviously, they can't go out here because it's sort of edge of the map. So they're limited to how far they can go. Now, if we look over the other side, this is where you can see opportunities for outflanking manoeuvres do exist. So you can see here, the Russians, how far can they go? Well, you can see they're kind of getting their defences probed. Quite literally, both figuratively and literally. And you can see the French now. It looks like maybe they've got a few Russians behind them. These boys. From the KK. Stabsfura. And there's Otanashi. Yuzuru Otanashi. Now, let's have a look. Vicentius. Now, let's see. So you can see these guys here. The Russians shooting into the French trying to defend themselves. Like Ada, for example. And then in the punch up in the bushes, who's this? Is Major Chef. Sergeant Major Chef, I should say. And Skyrim CZ. Okay, so it looks like his opponent snuffed it. Yes, his opponent snuffed it. Killed by one of his teammates, or one of the enemy. And Ada now starting to move up, taking some bullets as the Russians continue to defend in this very busy forest. As Trojan CZ is dodging left and right to avoid the bullets. And there's Skyrim and Ada trying to push up. Oh, look out! Oh, that was brutal. That was nasty. Shots at close range. Very nasty indeed. So. Oh, no. Down goes Skyrim CZ. He's no more. And here's Jarl. And other members of the Russian forces pushing even further. Who's this choosing it? Trojan CZ. Oh, this could be unfortunate. As he's now found himself cornered and snuffed out. Now, let's have a look at numbers. 21 French, 20 Russian. Wow. Look at this. What's going on over here? All charge, no shooting. Taufk from the 73rd will be moving out shortly. Is he waiting in ambush for an opportunity to present itself? He is. Look at this. Follow him. He moves in behind the enemy. Very sneaky. Firing in the charge. Naughty. What's going on here? Attack! Oh, fine ambush. Fine ambush by Taufk. Now he's been seen by the enemy. And the enemy is chasing after him. He's running over to support his teammates. Turns, waits in the bush. Oh, look at this. Stabs through a killer. Looking to try and go round him. There we go, he sees him. He's got to be careful. He now has the support of other Frenchmen. And he decides to turn on his heel and run for it. Can't say I blame him. So now, it's the unicorn versus the killer. Correction, they got another one in there. The unicorn better watch out, he's going to lose his horn. Oh, fine, stab. Look at this. Unicorn's been hit once. Oh, this is why the unicorns are endangered. Oh, look at this, but an officer comes charging in to assist. Joseph Cromwell, corporal of the 92nd. And now Unicorn is defending himself. Look at that. Fine sword work. Look at this. Oh no! Joseph Cromwell kills the unicorn. Oh dear, as Tauf also gets murdered as well. Here is Lieutenant Colonel Kincaid, and the Russians have won as he gets murdered at the end. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it. Another 33rd historical line battle. My thanks to, of course, Kincaid, Spoons, and everybody in the 33rd, and for every single regiment that has attended, making this such great numbers. Always a pleasure to see. And I hope you boys and girls have enjoyed it. It's been fun. And we'll see you again for more Napoleonic Wars soon. Take care.